gone broke, dancing in the moonlight glow, little lamb gone rogue. Where will this rebel
Welcome back to the channel, my little lambs. This is your girl Hillary B. If you all can do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We are heading towards the end of April, and Mother's Day will be right around the corner. Not too far behind will follow Father's Day. And you know, as I was thinking about what topic I should talk about next, I was thinking about doing Mother's Day and why we don't celebrate it, but I actually wanted to do something a little different. Today's topic is a little heavy. We're going to talk about waking up the elderly, the parents, grandparents, and loved ones who have spent their entire lives inside the Jehovah's Witness organization. Is it the right thing to do? Is it helpful, or could it actually cause more harm than good? Let's talk about the pros and cons of waking up someone who's lived their entire adult life inside a high control group like this. Waking up later in life. Imagine being 75 years old. You lived every day believing in the teachings of the Watchtower Society. You sacrificed birthdays, holidays, higher education, career opportunities, all because you believed paradise was right around the corner. You distanced yourself from family members who were now witnesses. You cut off people you've loved. You did it all because you thought it was the right thing to do. Because you were told it was the only way to survive Armageddon. Then one day, someone shows you proof that none of it was real. The doctrines you believed in was flawed. The paradise promises were constantly pushed back. The faithful slave wasn't faithfully delivering much of anything but control. Imagine the heartbreak, the anger, the overwhelming grief. I'm not saying the elderly can't handle the truth. They absolutely can. But how and whether you try to wake them up matters. When I woke up, it wrecked me emotionally, and I still had time. I still had a future to rebuild. I was still young enough to dream again. But even for me, waking up was not easy. It ripped apart the foundation of my world. It made me question my worth, my choices, my past. Now imagine carrying that devastation at 75, 80 years old. Imagine realizing that the paradise you were promised your entire life might not never come. The family you shunned didn't need to be lost. The sacrifices you made weren't necessary. That impact alone could be brutal. Pros of waking up the elderly. Okay, so let's be fair. There are real positives to waking up an older person. 1. Freedom of mind. No matter your age, truth brings freedom. Even at 80, there's beauty in finally thinking for yourself. So this short interview came across my Instagram feed, and I just had to share it with y'all. The woman in the clip is around 75 years old, and let me tell you, she's full of wisdom, style, and life. She's not a Jehovah's Witness, but her message really resonated with me because it reminds us that life doesn't stop at 70. She's beautifully put together, not dressed down at all, classy, confident, energetic. She's radiating joy. And the advice she gives, it left me feeling refreshed and inspired. Let's check it out.
At 75, I have learned that you just need to be who God created you to be and find your spiritual gift, what He gave you, not a talent, but what He gave you to further His kingdom. And when you do that, then anything it is, mine is the gift of encouragement. And so I've done so many things. I was a teacher for 40 years in inner city, and I worked with hospice and Meals on Wheels, etc. And when you serve, because that's my thing. Where other people I know my age, that's not their thing. Theirs maybe is hospitality or vision or whatever, but follow that. Don't compare yourself to somebody else, because when you do and you'll look back, you'll just have the richest life. And just keep Jesus front and forth.
The amount of time that a lot of elderly Jehovah's Witnesses put into the preaching work and committing themselves to Watchtower, this woman is not a Jehovah's Witness, but she's so happy. She's so happy. You can see it. You can tell she's a giving person. That's the Jehovah's Witness motto. Best life ever. Let them tell it. And I'm not going to lie. A lot of the older people that's inside the Kingdom Halls are very, very nice people. My mother being one of them. My aunt being another person as well. They're very sweet, very giving people. So take them being a Jehovah's Witness away. Do you think that they wouldn't be those type of people if they weren't Jehovah's Witnesses? Let's continue. 2. Restored relationships. If they realize that shunning was wrong, it can lead to family healing, rebuilding bonds with children, grandchildren, and old friends. With time being limited, imagine the stories, the encouragement you can give to your children who may also be trapped in something like this. How brave would that be for an elderly person to wake up and be able to turn around and tell their children they made a mistake so that your children don't have to go through the same. Imagine reconnecting with an old flame you thought was once burnt out. 3. Relief from fear. The endless fear of Armageddon, disfellowshipping, judicial committees gone. Peace can replace anxiety. And 4. Dying free. Some people deserve to leave this earth with their mind unchained, without guilt, without fear, without submission to an organization. And yes, it's possible. There are older content creators right here on YouTube, some in their 60s, 70s, and maybe 80s, who have openly talked about waking up later in life. Even while battling sickness, even while facing isolation, they found a way to create a fulfilling, authentic life for themselves. They're proof that life doesn't end when you leave the Watchtower. It can finally begin. Cons of waking up the elderly. We have to be real that there are serious risks too. 1. Severe mental health impact. Realizing you gave your entire life to a lie can cause profound depression, anger, and regret. It often means facing the painful realization that your entire life's work, sacrifices, and loyalties may have been built on misinformation. That's not just confusing, that's devastating. So when they wake up, they're not just questioning doctrines, they're grieving lost decades. There's also added trauma of isolation. At that age, many have few social ties outside the congregation. So waking up can mean choosing truth over companionship. Lastly, there's cognitive dissonance. Many older ones struggle with guilt, shame, and denial. Some ask, how could I have not seen it sooner? Others might wrestle with survivor's guilt and feeling devastated that they may have helped indoctrinate their children or others. The emotional toll can even cause physical health decline. It's a full-on identity crisis at a time when many are facing health issues and vulnerabilities of aging. 2. Loss of purpose. For many older witnesses, their entire daily routine and identity are tied to the organization.
When I watch JW broadcasting and see all the things that are going around over the earth, I would like to show them my appreciation for this hard work that the brothers do. And now the way I can do that, since I'm no longer able to do much physically, is by writing them a check and this letter of appreciation.
Meetings, ministry, associations. Take that away and you risk leaving a huge void. 3. Physical health decline. Stress is powerful. Shock and grief can trigger health crises in people already struggling physically. 4. Loss of social circle. Even if the doctrine is flawed, many older ones genuinely love the people at their hall. Losing that connection can be devastatingly lonely. Right now, Mother's Day is right around the corner. Father's Day won't be too far behind. This time of the year stirs up so many emotions. For some of us, it's a reminder of love and connection. For others, it's a painful reminder of everything lost to shunning, disfellowshipping, and indoctrination. Before we rush to wake someone up, especially someone older, we have to remember how deeply tied these identities are to their families, their memories, and their hopes for reunion. Especially for our parents and grandparents, the ones who carried us when we were young, even if they got caught in the system that lied to them. They didn't just join a religion, they built their entire lives on it. And so, for many, waking up isn't just losing a belief, it's losing their whole story. Here are things to consider. So what should you do? Every situation is different. Some older ones are already questioning quietly. Some are just waiting for a safe space to voice their doubts. Some will never, ever want to hear it, and forcing them could shatter their spirit in a way you don't intend. So you have to move with wisdom, patience, and love. If they're curious, if they ask, if they open the door, even just a crack, then you have responsibility to be honest but gentle. Drop seeds, be kind, don't push. And remember, you can still love someone without demanding they be where you are. What I choose to do. Me personally, I choose peace. If the conversation opens naturally, I speak. If not, I love them anyway. Because waking up is a gift, but it's also a burden. And I wouldn't want to throw that burden onto someone if they're not ready to carry it. I can plant seeds. I can live my truth, but I cannot force healing and I cannot force awakening. My final thoughts. If you're struggling with whether or not to wake up an older loved one, especially right now with Mother's Day, Father's Day, and all the emotions tied to family, I get it. This isn't easy. You're not wrong for wanting them to be free. You're not wrong for fearing it could crush them. You just have to trust your intuition, move with love, move with care, and understand that sometimes the best thing you can offer someone is acceptance. They might not awaken in this life, but you woke up, and that's enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for thinking. Thank you for loving the people you love, even when it's complicated. If this resonated with you, like, comment, and subscribe to the Angry Pink Lamb. And whatever path you're on, stay free, stay patient, stay kind. This is your girl, Hillary B., and I'll be back with the truth.
Little lamb gone broke, dancing in the moonlight glow. Little lamb gone rogue, where will this rebel go? Skipping through the fields, no shepherd in sight. Rebel heart beating strong under the stars at night. Little lamb